It's trade deadline day. The teams have until 3 p.m. Eastern to complete trades. Of course, some trades will be announced after 3 p.m. just because if the trade call center gets backed up, all that stuff. But with the Edmonton Oilers, after a loss that shouldn't have happened last night, the new guys, Carrick and Henrique, playing in that game. And what's next for the Edmonton Oilers? Well, I'll get into that today, as welcome back to Gillis TV. If you're new to the channel, like anything Oilers or NHL related, don't matter the team, we try and have it covered here for you, from trades, rumors, signings, injuries, whatever there is. We try and have it here covered on the channel for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are only 258 away from our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support of late. So let's start with the game last night. Costly turnovers. Everyone can agree on that. Quick strikes by Columbus. They were shooting from everywhere. Calvin Pickard beat on a couple. Can't really blame him when it's off the turnovers. The first one there, Olivier, I believe his name is, scored through Desharnais' legs, short side. Pickard couldn't see that. You're trying to look over Vinny Desharnais. That's probably not going to happen. Warren Foegele got benched last night for the rest of the second period. I'm pretty sure he played a few minutes in the third. Don't get me wrong, but after a costly turnover made it, I believe that was the 3-0 goal. It was not smooth sailings for the Edmonton Oilers last night, as McDavid just couldn't seem to be able to handle the puck. Too many passing when you got grade A shooting chances. That's the thing about this Edmonton Oilers team, is they are a good scoring team, but it seems like they try too much when they should just shoot the puck. There's times they're in the slot and they're still trying to look to the side of the net for a pass. Just shoot the puck. That's a prime scoring position in front of the net. Like, don't get me wrong, the goaltender of Columbus last night robbed Hyman in the final seconds. He did have a couple nice saves. Warren Foegele couldn't capitalize on the side of the net there when he brought it from backhand to forehand. It was a nice save. Like, don't get me wrong, Columbus's goalie stole this game for Columbus. He made probably 3 or 4 saves that probably 9 times out of 10 are goals on anyone else or any other game. So it was a good game by their goalie, but the defense just lacked turnovers. Sam Carrick, we'll start with him, had 1 turnover. Pickard bailed him out. But overall, face-off wise, he was really good. I like how he stepped up for Mark and fought Olivier. Like, everyone says, oh, this guy has 300 and some penalty minutes in 200 and some games. Literally, he has 37 fights in the last 3 years. You times that by 5, we're talking that's 185 of those 300 and some penalty minutes are fighting majors, which knocks it down to 90-some penalties. And how many times has it been a 10-minute game misconduct because it's in the final 5 minutes, right? So Sam Carrick provided a physical presence, and it wore off on the fourth line. Mark was hitting. Derek Ryan was hitting. Carrick just brings a character to the fourth line that I think the Oilers have needed for quite some time, and it's good to see. Now, Adam Henrique, of course, played a little bit more because Carrick only played 7:38 last night due to the 5 minutes for fighting. Henrique played 14-14, had a penalty, 1 shot on goal, and 1 block shot. He was a plus-minus of 0. You could really notice him. His back checking was phenomenal. You could tell that he was around the puck a lot. Just Jack Michael saying his name, like he had the puck on his stick. He was back checking. He filled in for the center role when Draisaitl got caught up in the offensive zone. He filled in perfectly. Being that center, he is a smart player. So Adam Henrique, he didn't score or anything, but he did have a solid defensive game. And even the panel last night was Adam Henrique's a perfect two-way forward. Not as good as Nugent Hopkins, let's be honest. But Henrique can bring something to the team. Now, that's last night. We're going to get past that. Buffalo tomorrow at 10:30 Mountain Time in the morning. Oh, great. Another day game. And then 11 o'clock in Pittsburgh. But now let's get to what's going to be Ken Holland's move. He was on in the first intermission, I believe it was. And he said he would make some calls. Like, he's not done. He didn't say he was done. He will still call. And there's two names that kind of are sticking out for them Edmonton Oilers right now if they really want to. And one's, of course, former Oiler Jordan Eberle. And Seattle, apparently Eberle wants to stay in Seattle. They just can't get the term right. They got the number right. They just can't get the term. And ultimately, if they have nothing done, probably by, I would say, noon Eastern today, Seattle will look for a trade just to try and get something out of it in case they can't re-sign him in the summer. Jordan Eberle would be, I'm a fan favorite of Jordan Eberle. Like, it's the same as Gagne. Like, when people wanted Gagne to come back, I'm the same with Eberle. I think he could really help this Edmonton Oilers team, and especially reunited with Nugent Hopkins. I think that would be perfect, and then you could keep Dry, McDavid, and Hyman full-time together. Now, the other names, Tyler Toffoli, might take a little bit more than Jordan Eberle to pry him out, as Tyler Toffoli is 26 goals this year. He is a pure sniper. He is a playoff performer and could be a decent pickup for the left wing on that second line. Now, everyone's going to say, well, what about the salary cap? With the addition of Troy Stecher, we still have about $1.1 million left. If we do the double retention thing left, we still can do $4.4 million. Now, after the benching Warren Foegele last night, I think Fogel's really on a short leash with the Edmonton Oilers at this deadline. If they can improve their top six, Warren Foegele will be more than likely the casualty, as much as I would like to say Brown or Ryan or Yamark could be the casualties. I think Warren Foegele has more trade value than all three of them, even all three combined. So Warren Foegele could be the odd man out. They could look to upgrade on D. Like I said, Ken Holland said he will work the phones today and see what's kind of out there. He's not going to push for anything, is the feeling out process of all the insiders right now. But if something does come up that intrigues him, that can actually make the Oilers even better than what he's done so far this trade deadline, then they'll work on it. Another name is Pavel Buchnevich, and the asking price that I've talked to people about and what has been reported has been Proberg and a first, Proberg and Holloway, or Holloway and a first. Now, there's no way they're trading Philip Proberg. He's the next up on the left-hand side of defense over Troy Stecher. He's the 8th defenseman. If injuries happen in the playoffs, you're going to need Proberg on that left side. As much as I'm a fan favorite of Dylan Holloway, him being in the AHL just does not sit right with me. I believe he should be in the NHL over the three players I listed after Foegele and Ryan, Brown, and Yamark. I believe Holloway brings more to the table than they do. But if you're going to keep him in the AHL, you might as well use your 2025 first-round pick in Holloway and get Buchnevich with some retention retained on his salary, because at the end of the day, that first-round pick's going to get traded next year for another rental. Might as well use that pick, get a player, so in theory, you get 2 playoff runs with Buchnevich because he has a year left on his deal, and 102, 101, whatever games left in this season and a full season. It would be worth it in a sense for that, especially if St. Louis will take on some salary. But that's something we could keep That's something we could keep an eye on. Holland didn't say he was done, but the sense is that with the tight cap space, double retention could happen, but it has to be a trade that actually improves the Oilers and not just, slightly improves them as of right now. So that's pretty much what's next for the Edmonton Oilers, as we are just 7 hours away from the trade deadline. I will probably go live about 12 Eastern. That's when some trades get off and going. I would have went live this morning, but nothing really happens and they just sit around. I've been watching TSN there and Sportsnet, and they're just talking around. So that's pretty much it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Gillis TV. Have a good one.